and giving thanks to God for all of his blessings. Rick was always grateful to God for all of his blessings, and especially his family. And we look at his relationship with his family. He inspired and he guided his family with his fine example. They grew up to be loving and caring daughters and people of faith. Of course, we also remember Doug. Between his love for the church, working, golfing, traveling, working out at St. John's Fitness Center, Rick was just always busy. He could always let you know what was going to happen next. He was a person who was very organized. He was a man of deep integrity. He could fix just about anything. In business, Rick was just a unique combination of a business professional and a warm and a very friendly person. Rick was a good and he was a faithful friend who always could see a greater value in you than you could see in yourself. Rick was just one of those people who was just always there. He was just always there. That's why it's so hard to let go. He enjoyed life. There were so many stories and enjoyable times that we all had together. Rick was always a gentleman's gentleman, right up to the time he died. In the hospital Sunday night, when he held my hand, I knew I was telling Rick goodbye, although we had great hope that that miracle would happen. But I think we knew in our hearts. Sometimes, even when he had that trouble breathing, he would always say thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Father Ferguson and I stopped in. We would just shake your hand and would ask us to pray. He just always said thanks. His gentle manner and his kind words, his warm smile will be remembered by everybody who knew him. And because Rick was so competent and so knowledgeable, we here at Holy Trinity made sure to tap into all of his abilities. He chaired one of the major building fund drives here. We built the parish offices and the beautiful parish center there. Rick, with so many others, was behind him, but he really led that fund drive, and he did all the work on it so well. He helped with the Knights of Columbus, their bowl-a-thon, to raise money for the kitchen and to help the poor at the Missouri Hotel. And with my lack of direct sense of direction, those of you know me know that I, after being 42 years in Springfield, I still get lost. But Rick was always the person to get maps for you, to tell you how to get there. And I personally relied on him to get me through the traffic congestion problems in St. Louis, in Kansas City, and other places. He was just always willing. He'd call up and ask for direction and say, let me just take you. You know, we went to the Boy Scouts camp this past summer, and I got the directions. Rick was driving. He says, I don't think this is the right way, you know. And so he got out a map and figured out we were supposed to be there. I think we got there 2 hours later, but I still would be looking for it, you know. The time he took me to Fort Chaffee, it was just beautiful there. It was when the war was starting, and we went there, and it was a real experience, you know. Those young men, those young women there, they were just learning. The whole thing was just like it was going to be in Iraq. I remember we had to get out of our cars and they were pointing guns at us. But Rick was so touched by those young people, and he talked to so many of them that day. You know, to let them know he'd be praying and caring for them. Could he do anything? That's the kind of person he was. Just little things like that. He didn't just go with you. He got involved with the things that were going on there, the scouts and those young men and women going to service and take care of us. He often told me interesting stories about his travels to places like Reidy. Gifted as he was with his professional life, he was not above helping, caring, setting up Christmas trees and the manger scene here in church. He just did a beautiful job with that every year. The manger scene was just something very special in decorating the Christmas trees. And I taught him the squint test. One thing I can't stand on Christmas trees are big gaps. And I told him, if you squint your eyes, you'll be able to see that where the vacancies. Rick got that down. To this day, I'm telling you. Rick would just run the vacuum cleaner here in the church. There was nothing he wasn't willing to do. St. Paul's letter to the Galatians says, the fruit of the Spirit is love. It is joy and it's peace. It's patience, it's kindness, it's generosity, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. As we heard this morning in that first reading from the book of Job, I myself shall see, my own eyes shall see, behold him. I shall see God. My inmost being is consumed with longing. Rick's accomplishments were many, and we all appreciated everything he did. His greatest accomplishment, however, was his own faith, whereby he now sees God. So allow me to express again, on behalf of Bishop Liebrecht, Father Fergus, Father Mike, and everybody gathered here, our love for you, Pat, and Colleen, and Lisa, Anne-Marie, and Jody, and all of your families, and all of Rick's family, his brothers and sisters, our promise to keep all of you in prayer. And so today we say to him, go with God, good friend, until we meet again to break bread with the one whose life and death has guaranteed the everlasting life that we seek. May his angels lead you today into paradise as you begin your new life, in which health replaces illness, youth replaces age, and certainty replaces doubt. As you enter the company of those loved ones who preceded you, and as you wait for those who are to follow. Again, our prayers, our sympathy, Pat, and all of your families. If there's anything we can do, please let us know. God bless you. Know our prayer is that God will now take him, bless him, and make him his very own.